Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I replaced an $80,000 a year admin role with two AI automations. Yes, you heard that right. Two AI automations. Now, most business owners think about AI in terms of what it costs them. They see a $12, $15, $20,000 proposal and ask whether they can afford it. But the better question they should be asking themselves is what are they currently paying to do manually that AI could do automatically? Now, for this Brisbane-based landscaping company, the answer was $80,000 a year. That was the approximate salary of an admin person in the construction industry whose primary job was managing two processes that no longer needed a human. This is the story of how that happened, what was automated, and what it means for any trades businesses running their back-end operations on phone calls and spreadsheets. This is part of an ongoing series where I'm documenting workflows, campaigns, and client work in real time. If you're new here, my name is Dominic Schwantes. I'm the founder of Workflows, a B2B AI lead generation agency. I document everything I do in real time, the campaigns, the systems, and the results. And what you'll find in this document is real, not just some theory. Now, before getting into the automations, I think it's worth being specific about what the admin role actually involved day to day, because when you lay it out, the manual process is almost comically inefficient. So the first thing that needed automating was the supply order process. Now, every time a team leader needed materials on site, this is what happened. The team leader called the office administrator, the office admin checks and confirms the purchase order, then the office admin calls the supplier, and the supplier books the order and provides a delivery date and time, and then the office admin calls the team leader back to confirm. For those 5 steps, 4 phone calls were needed, and for every single supply order across multiple active construction sites running simultaneously, mind you. Now multiply that number by the number of supply orders in a week across a business, producing 3 proposals a week and running multiple projects at once. That phone call alone was consuming a ton of unnecessary hours. And the second thing that needed automating was the invoicing and payment processing. Now, every progress payment, invoice, and bill was handled entirely manually. There was zero system integration, zero automation, and every single touchpoint required a human to initiate it. And those touchpoints included incoming bills were received and processed manually, progress payments were triggered manually when the milestones were reached, the contracts were generated manually on job acceptance, and invoices were created and sent manually in Xero. Now, for a business at this stage of growth, the invoicing process was a full-time job in and of itself. Not because it was complex by any means, but because nobody had built a sufficient system around it. These two processes combined, supply ordering and financial administration, were the core of what the admin role existed to do, and now both of them are automated. Now, the owner rang me the other day and said, "You know you're putting people out of a job, right?" And I said, "Yeah, well, I'm saving you 80 grand. Wouldn't you rather that than pay a staff member?" And he said, "Well, yeah, duh." Now, the two automations are down here with the before and after. I think it's always good to see what the end result was. So now, the first automation was having those 4 phone calls per order, the team leader to the office admin to the supplier back to the office admin, and the office admin back to the team leader. A whole lot of unnecessary steps. Now, the team leader fills out a drop form with the purchase order details, quantity, and time required. The form goes directly to the supplier. The supplier confirms with a simple yes via email, and then the team leader gets a Gmail notification with the delivery time. One form submission replaced 4 phone calls every single time. Now, one other thing to note as well is the team leader was previously filling everything out in a Word document, which was messy and unstructured, and now everything is clearly labeled inside of a drop form. Automation number 2 is the progressing payments, invoicing, and bill processing. Now, previously, every single financial touchpoint required manual human action. Bills were processed manually, progress payments were triggered manually. Now, the invoices were created and sent manually. Now, the entire financial flow runs automatically. Incoming bills are passed and routed without manual intervention. Progress payments trigger automatically when Arrowflow milestones are reached. Contracts generate via Sign Now on job acceptance, and Xero invoices create automatically on job signing. The owner's only 2 required touchpoints now are on approving invoices and on signing off payments before they go out. Literally 2 clicks on a full administrative workflow. Now, here's what the numbers actually looks like, the cost to them and what they're actually saving in year 1 and year 2 and beyond. Now, the cost of the admin role was 80 grand a year in salary. This is a conservative figure for a full-time office administrator in the construction industry in Brisbane, handling supply ordering and financial administration. Now, the cost of the 4 automations were 12,700 AUD. Now, if you want a breakdown of those 4 automations, go check out the video I made last week and posted on the channel, which was how I signed a $12,700 proposal. Now, that $12,700 is a one-time fixed price. There are no ongoing fees beyond the tool subscriptions the business was already paying and would need regardless. Now, the saving in year 1 is approximately $67,300, and that's what the business retains in 1 year after the automation cost is subtracted. The full $80,000 saving recurs every year. The automation has already been built and paid for. Now, the ROI in year 1 is roughly 6x, which is amazing, but in year 2, it doubles and it's close to 13x, which is crazy. This is not a marginal efficiency improvement. This is an entire structural change to the cost base of this business. Now, why this matters beyond this specific business. The supply order and invoicing problems that this business had are not unique to this specific business. They are standard operating procedures for most trade businesses at this stage of growth. Now, every landscaping company running multiple projects has some version of a phone call chain for materials. Every construction business doing volume has someone manually processing invoices. And every trades business with a maintenance schedule has someone managing it in a spreadsheet or in their head, which is incredibly inefficient. Now, the admin role exists in most of these businesses not because the work requires human judgment. It exists because nobody has built the system to replace the manual steps. But AI can replace those steps. The tools to do it are not new or experimental. Dropform, Make.com, Arrowflow, Xero, and SignNow. These are mature, reliable platforms that have been integrated together before. Now, what is new is the awareness among trades business owners that this is possible and accessible. Most of them are still paying someone $80,000 a year to do the work that costs $12,700 to automate one time. Now, what this means for you. If you run a B2B business with manual backend processes, not just construction specifically, it could be accounting firms or any other type of business, the question worth asking is not whether AI automation is relevant to you. It is which of your current manual processes would be the cheapest to automate and most expensive to keep doing manually. For this landscaping company, the answer was supply ordering and financial administration. For your business, it might be something different, but there is almost certainly a version of this calculation that applies to you. The cost of building it is fixed, but the cost of not building it recurs every single year. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any new videos, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video.